and welcome to my channel. Today I have another true crime ASMR video for you that I hope you will enjoy. Today's video will be about the missing persons case of Amy Lynn Bradley. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Today's video will be uploaded to my true crime ASMR playlist as well. We have a couple in there now, so if you would like to partake in that, it is there for your pleasure. So today's video will also include some triggers. I got a little crazy in my last video. I did a lot. So we're going to kind of dial it down a little bit. So hopefully you enjoy that as well. So let us begin. Amy Lynn Bradley was born on May 12th, 1974 in the United States in Virginia. She was born to parents Eva and Ron. Amy was the typical all-American girl who was outgoing and athletic. She attended the local Longwood University on a basketball scholarship. Amy was trained as a lifeguard and was a strong swimmer. Despite all of this, she was terrified of the ocean. During the summer of 1998, Amy would put her fears aside and go on a vacation with her family and boarded the Royal Caribbean's Rhapsody of the Seas. The vacation consisted of Amy, her parents, and her brother Brad. Their voyage would take them from Puerto Rico to Aruba to Curaçao in the Netherlands Antilles. While on the boat, Amy befriended many. Amy was that very happy-go-lucky girl, very outgoing. She could really make friends with anybody. And she made very good friends with the ship's band. So on the night of March 23rd, Amy and her brother partied in the ship's club. The two danced to the cruise ship's band, Blue Orchid. Amy chatting with a few of the band members and dancing with the bass player, who had the nickname of Yellow, but his real name was Alistair Douglas. At around 1 a.m., the siblings in the band members, well, a few of them, would call it a night, the siblings returning to the family's cabin together. Amy would wake up and tell Brad that she wasn't feeling well and was going to sit outside to get some air. This would be around 4 in the morning. Amy Amy's father, Ron, woke up at 5:30 a.m. and noticed Amy asleep on the balcony. Ron would wake up again at 6, and Amy was gone. This instantly alarmed Amy's family. Amy was very responsible, and she's on a boat with only her family. She's not going to just disappear without telling anybody. She also had gone without anything in her bedroom, not even her shoes or her ID. Ron would rush to the ship's crew and plead for them to call Amy over the ship's loudspeaker. The crew, however, was more concerned with alarming the rest of the passengers and not really any concern for the Bradley's daughter. They just assumed she was just partying and would be found later. The ship's crew finally called out for Amy to make herself known over the loudspeaker around 7:50 a.m. So as we know, she had been gone and missing for an hour and 50 minutes at this point. So the disappearance of Amy occurred shortly before the boat was supposed to dock at Caraco, Antilles. The Bradleys would ask for the docking to be postponed in case Amy had been kidnapped. The crew members ignored their protests and made the ill-advised decision to let the passengers disembark. So they let everybody off the boat. So as more and more passengers left the ship, any chance of finding Amy drained away. After all passengers had left, the captain ordered a search of the vessel's 9, 9, 9, and 10 floors. Amy was nowhere to be found, probably because you just let off every single passenger. Why they wouldn't just stand there when everybody was leaving and check everyone as they left. This was something that could have been prevented if they took this family seriously. I mean, the worst case scenario, the family was wrong and she's just sleeping somewhere. But that would have been the worst case scenario if they had just checked. Not this family's losing their daughter. They're countries away in the ocean. And if they're all on the boat, they had an idea of where she would be. She had to be on the boat. So it's just very sad that they did not take them seriously. So the Netherlands Antilles Coast Guard conducted a 4-day search, but turned up with nothing. A search boat chartered by Royal Caribbean also returned empty-handed. The search ended on March 29th, 1998. Officials stated that there was no evidence that Amy could have fell over the railing due to her training and swimming and being a lifeguard, because naturally Royal Caribbean was attributing her being missing by her being drunk. And there is a hummingbird at my little feeder. I'm so happy right now. I'm just going to include a little tidbit here. So do not use the red dyed hummingbird feed for your hummingbird feeders. It does cause cancer in the hummingbirds because it is a red dye. And if you may not know, red dye is terrible for us. Imagine how bad it is for those little babies. So for typical feeders, it is 1 cup of sugar and 4 cups of water. And you just shake them together, and it's not only cheaper, but it's more eco-friendly. So, tidbit. So Royal Caribbean was trying to say that she had just fallen overboard. Girl was drunk, she fell. But officials said, no, you already messed up, don't try. This was you. You should have done the right protocols for this. And said that there is no way she could have fallen over the railing. And even if she did, she was able to swim and she was a lifeguard. Omi was not going to just drown and fall. So, however, there was evidence that something was awry on the ship. So, on the ship, portraits of some of the guests had been on display in a public gallery, which is very odd in itself. Like, this ship sounds so sketchy. Like, you're putting up pictures so that weird people can know. Well, not weird, but sketchy people do exist. You're putting up this big poster board for people to know, oh, there's some pretty girls on this boat. Let me find them, you know? But weirdly enough, on display in the gallery, Amy had a picture up there as well, and her picture was gone. A witness would soon come forward and cast doubt on the Blue Orchid's bass player's story. So he had said that they had been hanging out, having some drinks, partying a little bit, and that they all, including him, had went home at 1 o'clock in the morning. So the bassist told the authorities they hadn't seen Amy since 1 a.m. on the day of her disappearance. However, another passenger, Crystal Roberts, came forward to say that she saw Amy and Alistair together at a little after 6 a.m. More than 5 hours later. So 6 a.m., backtrack, this is when Ron had last seen Amy. She had gone. He had last seen her around 5:30 when he had woken up, and then woke up again. She's gone. And now Crystal Roberts is stating she had seen Amy with yellow Alistair, this man. So Crystal states how Alistair and Amy had walked past her and up the stairs to the floor above. Within 10 minutes, Alistair had returned alone. Brad, which is Amy's brother, would later say he also had a strange interaction with Alistair. Around 9 a.m. in the morning of the disappearance, he told Brad he was sorry about what happened. But at that point, only Amy's family and the ship's security knew she was missing. So he had known that she had been missing because they had said at 7:50 a.m. that she come on back. They didn't say that she was really missing. They had just said that Amy needed to make herself known. So, but anyway, Amy had been requested over the loudspeakers, but the announcement did not say she was missing. But there was no real evidence to tie him to to Amy going missing. They hadn't had a body. They didn't have any evidence besides circumstantial evidence, which is him hanging out with her at 6 a.m. So, authorities began suspecting maybe Amy had left on her own accord, but her family quickly discounted this by saying how she had just had a new job, a new apartment back in Virginia, along with her beloved dog, Daisy. The family then pointed their attention to the cruise ship staff. They believed that certain people on board were giving their daughter special attention besides the bassist. At one point, Ron Bradley remembered one of the waiters asking for Amy's name, saying they wanted to take her to Carlos and Charlie's restaurant during the ship's dock in Aruba. When Ron would ask Amy about it later on, Amy had said that the restaurant staff gave her the grapes. And another little tidbit, the Carlos and Charlie's restaurant that this staff member is talking about, this is a very famous restaurant in a bad way. A lot of people that have been taken into the sex trafficking world or just disappeared have been taken from this place. So, just a little odd, you know? So, in the months after her disappearance, Amy's family would write congressmen, foreign officials, and the White House. They were just lacking helpful responses, and they hired private detectives, built a website, and started a 24-hour hotline, and got nothing. Eva Bradley, Amy's mother, states how her gut feeling to this day was that somebody saw her, somebody wanted her, and somebody took her. Which is so sad because that must be a terrible thing to live with every day. So in the years after her disappearance, disturbing sightings of Amy would only make for more questions for the Bradley family, and multiple people in the Caribbean have claimed to have seen their daughter over the years. In August of 1998, 5 months after she went missing, 2 Canadian tourists claimed to have spotted a woman who matched Amy's description on a beach, stating how the woman even had the same tattoos as Amy, which were a Tasmanian devil with a basketball on her shoulder, a sun on her lower back, and a Chinese symbol on her right ankle, and a lizard on her navel. David Carmichael, a tourist visiting Porto Marie in the Caraco States, he was 100% sure he saw Amy with 2 men there. I thought this would be more relaxing, but your girl has wavy curly hair. So, in 1999, a member of the Navy visited a brothel in Caraco and met a woman who told him her name was Amy Lynn Bradley. She begged him for help, and unfortunately, he wouldn't report the incident due to not wanting to get in trouble. The officer sat on the information until seeing Amy's face on the page of People's Magazine. That year, Amy's family would receive former U.S. Army Special Forces officer who could rescue Amy from armed Colombians holding her in Caraco. The Bradleys would pay him $200,000 before realizing it was a fraud. The sightings would keep coming. 6 years later, a woman claimed to have seen Bradley in a department store restroom in Barbados. According to the witness, the woman introduced herself as Amy from Virginia and was fighting with 2 or 3 men. Which, if you saw one woman standing with 3 men, 2 or 3, whatever, fighting and arguing with them, wouldn't you call the police and wait for someone to come? I don't know. I know it's sometimes scary because sometimes you don't know, but that's really the big thing here. You do not know. You could be saving someone's life, and if you see, and we all have that feeling in our gut. You feel it sometimes, and if you're wrong, you're wrong. Let someone get mad at you. Let someone think you're dramatic. We are all dramatic. Let it happen. Because you could be connecting someone with their daughter. This could be Amy. Situations like this, she is probably being sex trafficked, unfortunately. And that life is nothing for someone like that. It's terrible. And I really hope that she will be seen and saved at some point. In 2005, the Bradleys would receive an email containing a photo of a woman who appeared to be Amy lying on a bed in her underwear. A member of an organization that locates sex trafficking victims on adult websites noticed the photo and thought it could be Amy. The woman would later be identified as Jazz, a sex worker in the Caribbean. Today, the investigation into Amy Lynn Bradley's disappearance is ongoing. The FBI and the Bradley family have both offered sizable rewards for information on her whereabouts. Amy would be 49 years old today. I will be showing Amy's missing persons flyer at the beginning and the end of this video. I do write scripts for these videos. That's what's over here. I was originally only going to put it at the end, but I think it's good to keep it at the beginning and the end. So if you do see her, hopefully this video can help find her. If you have seen her, make sure to call 911 and help the Bradleys find their beloved daughter. So that is today's video. I do realize I'm trying to get more candid with you because I would like for us to get to know each other a little bit better. I am thinking about doing a little bit of a more candid, fun video. I usually stick to just my content, but there's going to be more of you, and I think with there being more of you, there's more that are returning, and I think it would be fun to just get to know each other a little bit. So, I hope that this instance on the Royal Caribbean's cruise ships will prevent future ones. I definitely see the way crew members handled the situation to be what prevented Amy from ever being found. So I did look into the bassist Alistair, or what they refer to him as, which is Yellow. And even with the witness seeing them together, it didn't leak him to possibly harming or having something to do with her disappearance. I will be adding this video to my true crime ASMR playlist, where you can find previous videos and future ones as well. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you again soon.